Ferrari is not just hanging in the fight anymore, they are stepping in like a real threat for the title. The early results might not look flawless on paper, but the direction they're moving in is loud and clear. They keep landing on the podium, stacking points smart, and proving the SF26 can handle whatever gets thrown at it. This car isn't guessing anymore. It delivers race after race. That's a huge change from last season, where things felt shaky and unpredictable. Now, the way this car is built is what really turns heads. Ferrari is locked in through corners, the aero package is doing its job, and the balance feels way more stable. Both drivers can actually push without fighting the car, keep a strong pace, and treat the tyres right instead of burning them out early. The only real weak spot right now is straight-line speed, and yeah, that's noticeable. But here's the twist. That's actually not a bad place to be. When most of the car is already working smoothly, fixing one major issue like engine performance can unlock a big jump forward. It's like having one missing piece instead of a whole puzzle to solve. And Ferrari isn't just throwing upgrades around hoping something sticks. There's a clear plan in motion, especially with Miami coming up as a key target. On top of that, the current rules still leave room to squeeze more out of the engine. Put all that together and it's obvious. They're not just chasing quick wins, they're building serious momentum for the long run. So here's the real question. Does Ferrari just need one final push to go toe-to-toe with Mercedes, or is there a deeper gap hiding that nobody's fully clocked yet? This is where things get serious because what we're seeing right now might only be part of the story. To really understand where Ferrari stands, you can't just stare at the results. You have to look under the surface. Yeah, 3 podiums in 3 races sounds clean, no doubt. But the bigger detail, they still haven't truly controlled a race from the front. They're in the fight, but not dictating it yet, and that difference matters more than people think. The gap to Mercedes isn't just about points, it shows up in how the races actually play out. Fred Vasseur didn't dodge it either. He said, "We know that we have a deficit of performance in the straight line and that we have to work on it, but it is like it is." That wording hits different. It shows a team that sees the problem clearly, but also knows this isn't something you fix overnight. And that straight line issue keeps pointing back to the power unit. That rough 20 brake horsepower gap might not sound massive, but on tracks where acceleration and top speed run the show, it adds up fast. Japan made that crystal clear. Charles Leclerc could hang in the corners no problem, but the second those cars hit the long straights, the gap showed itself instantly. It wasn't even subtle. Leclerc didn't try to sugarcoat anything. He came straight out and said it. Surely the Mercedes power units have a big advantage over us at the moment. No excuses, no dodging. But what he said next really shows how Ferrari is thinking right now. He made it clear they're not stuck on just one issue. They're focused on squeezing gains from the chassis, the aero, and getting the tires into the perfect window. That mindset runs through the whole team. Ferrari isn't sitting there blaming the engine like it's the only problem. They're looking at the car as one full package where everything has to click together. And that's exactly why the SF26 keeps showing up strong, even without the same raw power. One of the biggest upgrades from 2025. The car actually behaves the way the drivers expect. It's way more predictable now. Both drivers have been vocal about it too. The SF26 is just easier to handle no matter the conditions. And this isn't just about comfort. It changes everything. When the car responds consistently, tire wear stays under control, stints become more stable, and strategy calls don't get wrecked by random drops in performance. That kind of stability is a serious weapon over a race distance. Lewis Hamilton's role in all this is starting to stand out as well. After a rough first year trying to adapt, things are finally clicking into place. He said, "It's a huge difference. Learning the new tools, the culture, the way people like to work, it takes time. Now those lessons are paying off. The team feels more in sync, more connected, and that alignment is turning directly into performance on track." Hamilton's podium in China wasn't just another result, it sent a message. Ferrari can now pull strong performances from both sides of the garage, and that changes everything. But it didn't come easy at all. He admitted it straight up, saying, "It felt like I've never had to work so hard just to get a podium." That line says a lot. It shows how tight the competition is right now and how much effort it takes just to stay in the mix. A big part of Ferrari's consistency comes from the aero platform. The SF26 is seriously planted, especially through medium and high-speed corners. The drivers can carry speed in places where other cars start to struggle, and that gives them an edge in those technical sections. It's one of the key reasons they're able to stay competitive even without top-tier straight-line speed. But let's be real, making up time in corners isn't the same as being equal over a full lap. What they lose on the straights doesn't always come back, and that's the difference between fighting at the front and actually controlling the race. Ferrari keeps getting close, but that final step is still just out of reach, for now. What's interesting is how they're choosing to fix it. Instead of dropping one massive upgrade and hoping it changes everything, Ferrari is moving step by step with smaller, controlled improvements. Every update is designed to fit smoothly into what's already working, not mess it up. And now all eyes are on Miami, because that's where this whole strategy really starts to get tested under pressure. Ferrari is lining up a fresh batch of upgrades, and they're not playing small with this one. The plan is to hit multiple areas at once. A revised floor is expected to boost overall downforce, while extra aero tweaks are being dialed in to sharpen efficiency. On top of that, they're cutting weight wherever possible, trying to squeeze out every bit of performance they can. The cooling changes are where things get really interesting. This isn't just about keeping temperatures under control. It's about unlocking a better operating window for the entire car. If they manage heat more effectively, it can improve engine output and keep the tires in a better state for longer. That's a double win, and it shows Ferrari is thinking deeper than just surface-level fixes. There's also ongoing work around the rear wing concept. The so-called Macarena wing they tested before had some clear issues, especially with rear stability under braking. Now they're going back in, redesigning it to fix those weak spots while still keeping the aero efficiency intact. It's a careful balance, and they know they can't afford to get it wrong. Testing these parts at Monza during a filming day wasn't random either. It was a calculated move. With those long straights and heavy braking zones, the track is perfect for checking both aero performance and energy management. It gives Ferrari real data to work with before they risk it in a race setting. And at the same time, the current rules are opening up even more chances for them to keep pushing forward. There's also a rule in play that could quietly flip everything for Ferrari. The extra development and upgrade system is built to help manufacturers that are lagging in power unit performance. And right now, Ferrari looks set to qualify for at least one extra upgrade slot. That's huge. It means their biggest weakness, the engine, could suddenly become the exact area where they gain the most ground. If they manage to cut down that power deficit, even by a small margin, the overall impact could be massive. But here's the problem. Development doesn't happen in a perfect timeline. The cancellation of races in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia completely messed with their rollout plan. Ferrari originally wanted to spread upgrades across those weekends, but now everything has to be reshuffled. That puts serious pressure on every single update. There's no room for slow progress. Each change has to hit immediately and actually deliver on track. And while Ferrari is trying to catch up, Mercedes isn't standing still. They're still the benchmark, not just because of raw engine power, but because they execute everything clean. They take their advantages and turn them into wins. And that's what really defines a title contender. And it's not just Mercedes anymore. McLaren is starting to creep into the picture too. Their performance in Japan showed that when everything runs smoothly, they can fight for podiums and shake up the order right behind the lid. That adds even more pressure on Ferrari, because now it's not a two-team fight, it's getting crowded. Even with all that, Ferrari's direction still looks strong. They're not falling apart under pressure. They're building, adjusting, and staying in the fight. The path isn't easy, but the momentum is real, and that's what keeps them right in the middle of this championship battle. Ferrari right now isn't guessing. They know exactly where they're strong and where they're lacking. They've got a clear development plan in place, and both drivers are fully locked into the process. That kind of alignment doesn't always happen in Formula One, but when it does, it creates real momentum. You can see it in how the team is moving, and even Vasseur's words reflect that mindset. He kept it simple and real, saying, "It's more a matter of doing a better jump than the others." That's what this phase of the season comes down to. Every team is improving, no one is standing still, so the real difference will come from who makes the smartest and most effective leap forward. And right now, Ferrari looks like they're in a position to do exactly that. Leclerc's performance in Japan said a lot without needing hype. The way he managed energy deployment and controlled his race positioning to hold off George Russell wasn't just about speed, it was about execution. That kind of drive shows Ferrari can stay sharp under pressure and make the right calls when it matters most. But zoom out a bit, and the 2026 regulations are adding another layer to all of this. These new power units are complicated, especially when it comes to how battery deployment works with engine output. It's not always smooth, and drivers have already been dealing with moments where energy delivery feels unpredictable. That's leading to some unusual overtaking situations, and it's shaking things up. In this kind of environment, it's not just about having the most power, it's about knowing how to use it properly. Timing, control, and system management are becoming just as important as raw speed. And if Ferrari can master that side of things while closing their performance gaps, they're going to be a serious problem for everyone else on the grid. So in the end, this isn't just about the car, it's about how everything is run behind the scenes too. It's not purely mechanical anymore, it's operational. And that brings everything back to one key factor: timing. Ferrari already has the pieces of a competitive package, no question. But what really matters is how fast they can refine and connect all those pieces while the competition is pushing just as hard. In a season this tight, even a delay of a few races can hit hard. If the Miami upgrades land the way Ferrari expects, and if those power unit improvements actually come through under the current rules, things could shift fast. That gap to Mercedes, it might start closing quicker than people expect. And if that happens, the whole story of the season flips from just being consistent to being a real contender for the title. But if those gains don't show up in time, Ferrari risks staying stuck where they are now, close enough to fight, but not close enough to actually win. And that's the line they need to cross. Because in Formula One, being almost there doesn't mean much when championships are on the line. Now the season is moving into a critical phase, and Ferrari is right at the center of it. The base is strong, the plan is clear, and the chances are right in front of them. The only question left: is it all going to come together fast enough to shake up the order? Or will that final gap need more than just small upgrades to close? Let me know what you think. Does Ferrari have what it takes to fight for the championship this season? Or are they still one step behind the competition? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.